Opinions and stories around the game we love, told by your favorite storytellers. Stay up to date with all things cricket. Subscribe to CricBuzz's YouTube channel and press that bell icon now. Super Fours begin with Sri Lanka taking on Afghanistan. This is where the business end begins. This, of course, happens at Sharjah. Sri Lanka are coming off that brilliant win against Bangladesh. Towards the end, the way they played, they just clinched it from the jaws of defeat, and that will give them a lot of confidence. People.
Yeah, but when you win games like that, you just get that boost of confidence, which is needed. Especially when a tight games, when you land on the better side of the result, it just gives you that spring which is needed, which you rightly put it. And I'm sure Sri Lanka would be feeling confident. There is no doubt about it. And the other end, Afghanistan have beaten both the sides, and they've beaten both the sides convincingly. So yeah, I think as Ajay Bhai said, it could be the game of equals, and it just something Sri Lanka would be trying to get their confidence into it, and Afghanistan would like to give a statement here as well that by beating Sri Lanka, that those two games were not, or a first game when we got them up to 100 was not a fluke. We are a side which we know on a right track. And to Sri Lanka, I think to their credit, to chase down at 180, though they've got chances and all of that, it's a different story altogether.
Of course.
But just to win game the way they did, I mean, 170, 165 is the pass score on this Dubai ground, and to chase down 183, they will be coming out hard, boost with a lot of confidence, so it will be a great game tomorrow.
AJ, talk of confidence, Afghanistan will be full of it. They've beaten both Sri Lanka and Bangladesh in the group stage convincingly, but have had a very long break post that. So would they be happy with it, just to regroup now and get back very fresh, or would they be ruling the fact that we could have had one game in between perhaps and this is too long a gap?
Not too sure. I think break, everybody's complaining about heat, so looking at that, you would say that if you've got a break, you're happier. It's only a week's break. So they'd be happy they've sat back and watched Sri Lanka when they came back, what they've done. So I think they'd be okay with that. And it's hot there. It's nice in the AC here, but it is hot. So how can I doubt that anybody in the modern day cricketing world is complaining ever about a break, because they play so much of cricket. And all these guys play around the world. Team from Afghanistan, these guys probably play more than even the best teams in the world, because they're playing leagues all around and then they come back and play for themselves. So they'd be happy with that break.
Let's have a look at the squads then. Let's have a look at the Sri Lankan squad. Now, they've had a victory in the past. Would they like to make some changes? Of course, the highlighted names there are the ones that played in the playing 11, and the muted colours are the ones who sat out. Would they like to make a change? Or because this unit has just pulled off something like that, PP, they wouldn't want to make
I don't think they would like to make any changes here. I think that's what you usually try and keep the continuity going, and especially after the win they had, I don't think they would like to make any changes unless they feel that they go to Sharjah wicket tomorrow and the wicket is like slower than this one. If they want to add an extra spinner into it, then it could be a tactical change, not the change which they would want to do it. Otherwise, I don't see Sri Lanka making any changes. Just a tactical change, just in case they want to get an extra spinner in place of a fast bowler. But that's very unlikely though.
AJ, let's have a look at that squad again. Who are these? Okay, so give me two key players that the dressing room is looking at and saying, this is where the business end starts. We need you to go out there and do the job for us.
I think their batting, which has failed, the guys who batted at 3, 4 and 5, because they're capable. The problem is that, in spite of that, they still went on to win that game, because Shanaka has been fabulous as a captain, as a guy batting at the top. So if they want, from Sri Lanka's point of view, they'd want one of those guys to really
perhaps
come
like
good.
Nisanka,
Gunatilake, Rajapaksa. So these are guys who've shown glimpses on this series as well, and people who've watched them in IPL and over the years, what they can do. So that is one hope. So if there's one thing that Sri Lanka wants for them to work on that particular day, and that will make a huge difference to this side, because they would bat those periods when the spinners are on. We're talking about Rashid, Mujib, or Nabi at that stage. So if 3 of these guys can have a great day, not just an ordinary or a good day, but a great day, and it's possible someday somebody. So that's their key. If that happens, then they've got then they have got runs above par, because these three guys can actually play and take a score above par, whatever that score is. So the key is that. And I saw Chandimal in that side as well.
Yeah,
is he there?
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
also
but now it's difficult to bring him back because Mendes Kushal got that 60. However he got.
60
so,
for 4.
So otherwise he used to be a player that you enjoyed watching and was looking good. Suddenly he's lost touch. So batting is their worry.
And against bowlers from Afghanistan who've just come off decimating both Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. Now, if you look at that squad, PP, who would your players to watch out for be? Who would be the key players?
I think it would be about how well both the sides are batting. I think it'll come down to that probably. I think because we see the bowling, they've got the bowling covered. They've got 3 quality spinners, and then they've got Fazal Haq, Farooqi and Naveen Ulaq. They both can bowl really well, but it'll be all about how they are batting. We saw them batting very, very maturely, and then no need to change the approach as well. Gurbaz, the way he's playing, Azatullah Zazai has been terrific for it's been a year since he's been batting really well.
Najibullah, the man who only deals with sixes.
Then Najibullah Ibrahim, and then the Ibrahim Zardan and Najibullah Zardan.
Yeah, both.
I thought Ibrahim batted brilliantly in that game, though his scores may look like 43 or 41 or something, but I thought he played very maturely. He played the situation really well against the quality side. So it'll be about how well they are batting and how well they're stitching up that batting, because it's not going to be that easy to hit sixes on this ground because the kind of pitch they have. But I think it'll be about how they're batting.
Najibullah Zadran and Suryakumar Yadav have hit the equal number of sixes in this tournament so far, and that's really interesting to know. And the way Afghanistan squad just shapes out, they cover all bases. So would you say they have the edge in this game, going into game?
I would like to. They're looking the better side without a doubt. But when it comes down to this Super 4s and then it comes to the experience, those Sri Lankan players are not that experienced. But overall, if you look at the whole nation, they're test playing nations. They have more experience. They probably have seen a lot of games or their seniors winning tournaments. So maybe the experience comes into play in this time of the tournament. But if you go man by man, I think Afghanistan's definitely better looking side than Sri Lanka.
For you as well, AJ? They have the edge, Afghanistan?
Yeah, at the moment they're hot because they've beaten them a week, not even that break that you talked about.
Tuesday
so they just beat them, and not just beat them, decimated them.
Yeah.
Although Sri Lanka showed spark because they came back at least. Bangladesh couldn't do that with that start, so they showed that spark, and that's what I'm hoping for. The only chance that I see for Sri Lanka is that. Otherwise, of course, it's a superior side. That if their batting, which is capable of doing what they can do, so if they bat first and if that has already happened and they get to a score, Sri Lanka will be able to hold them back.
Yeah, correct.
Or if they're chasing, then it'll be the key that. So it's possible, but you got to go with Afghanistan at the moment because they're just hot, man, and they're feeling good. They've got they're just in a right frame of mind. And if you've been beaten in that tournament there and then, and what has happened in the past, if it was just one game, you could say, oh, Sri Lanka will bounce back. But it hasn't been easy for Sri Lanka for a very long time.
Correct.
I hope I'm wrong again, and it'll be exciting to. Actually, it'll be exciting to watch if Sri Lanka wins tomorrow. I'm hoping that happens, but I doubt.